Running an independent grocery store today is like walking a tightrope. Margins are thin, competition from mass chains is fierce. One misstep in operations can cost you a customer, or worse, your bottom line. But what if you didn't have to juggle 5 or 6 different systems to run your store? What if inventory, staffing, sales, loyalty, and analytics all live together in one AI-driven platform, layered on top of a system you already use, or maybe to actually help you stand up a simple solution? Hey, I'm Professor Ken, and welcome to Omnichannel Grocer. This is your go-to source for AI-driven strategies, tools, and real-world tips that help independent grocers and brands connect with today's shoppers across all channels. Don't forget to hit subscribe and join us every week as we explore the future of grocery shopping together. Running an independent store today isn't just about keeping shelves stocked. It's about keeping every system in sync, because one-year inventory, labor, and customer data don't talk to each other. Profits slip through the cracks faster than spilled milk. So let's explore 3 main opportunities. Hey, welcome back. Let's talk about 3 big pain points that nearly every independent grocer faces today, and how modern tech and AI can actually fix them. First up, inventory management. Independent grocers deal with thousands of SKUs. I know in my former life, it was over 60,000. You deal with all those SKUs, short shelf lives, and constant weekly promotions, right? And you still sometimes rely on manual counts, or in some cases, outdated reports. So that's an easy recipe for overstock, for spoilage, for running out of top sellers just when your customers need them the most. So AI-powered forecasting and real-time inventory systems can help change that. By linking sales data directly to inventory, they can predict demand, automate reorders, and even flag shrink or waste before it spirals out of control. The payoff here is less cash strapped in slow-moving stock and fresher shelves that actually match shopper demand. Next, let's talk about the labor scheduling and the time theft there. Labor is your biggest expense, and when shifts are set by guesswork, overtime and theft sneaks in really fast. AI scheduling tools now analyze real sales and traffic data that helps forecast your staffing down to the hour. Combine that with digital time tracking, and you instantly see where your hours are being lost, or maybe where you're over or understaffed. The result here is tighter control, reduced payroll waste, and schedules that align with real store activity. And then finally, there's all these fragmented systems. When your POS, your sales promotions, and your inventory systems all live in separate silos, it's nearly impossible to see what's really driving your sales. But with unified data and AI analytics now, grocers can finally connect all these dots. So whether it's optimizing stock, controlling labor, or turning raw sales data into loyalty, the future for independent grocers isn't about working harder. It's really about working smarter and using these connected systems, AI-driven insights that help us guide every move. So independent grocers don't have the luxury of inefficiency. In a world where expense lines are at record highs right now, the 2025 Independent Grocers financial study put out by the NGA and FMS Solutions has expenses at about 25.8% of sales for many independents, and single store operators barely eke out an EBITDA as low as 1.5%. So every decimal point here matters. A unified AI-powered platform is the weapon independents need to stay competitive with mass retailers, but without those upfront costs and disruptions of replacing every single system. So you could layer on top of your existing infrastructure now, or using a simple AI system rather than Excel sheets and paperwork to enable real-time data flow and embed intelligence in your scheduling and inventory and even customer engagement. Here you'll be able to unlock all the agility and operational discipline that these larger chains enjoy. But now it's at a scale that's a cost suited to independence. Let's start with the big question. Why does a unified business management system matter so much for independent grocers? When your inventory, your POS, your scheduling, your finance tools are all running separately, you're basically running 4 different businesses at once. Your data could get delayed, reports don't match, and some of this becomes guesswork instead of strategy. So this unified system brings everything together. It syncs sales, stock, labor, financial data all in real time. That means one dashboard, one truth, and one place to make faster, smarter decisions that actually help you move your business forward. Imagine this. You run a single store grocery in a busy town. You juggle separate systems for POS, for scheduling, for bookkeeping, for loyalty. Every night, your manager exports spreadsheets, reconciles data, and guesses at trends, wasting hours while all these decisions are really lagging behind reality. Now picture everything connected. Your system flags that grill season items are selling fast and recommends an early order. It predicts a mid-afternoon rush and adjusts staffing automatically. It spots overtime before it actually happens and launches a promo to your most loyal shoppers. All tracked live on one dashboard, showing margins, shrink, and labor costs in real time. Now in just weeks, your store runs leaner, the waste drops, the profit rise because every decision is powered by data, not guesswork. This is all possible with the help of AI and some of the innovative solutions now entering the marketplace. At Grocery Shop 25, I sat down with Ara, the CEO of Unicite. He's a grocer himself and the visionary behind the first ever comprehensive sales and operations solution built specifically for independent grocers. He uses Unicite every day to manage his business, and he's creating real efficiency. His mission is simple, yet powerful. He wants to ensure accountability and visibility across every part of the independent grocer business, uniting sales, inventory, labor, and all finance into one intelligent platform. Here's what Ara had to say. Hey, this is Professor Ken with Omnichannel Grocer, and I'm here at Grocery Shop in Vegas, and I'm speaking with Ara from Unicite. And Ara, what I think I want to present and talk to the audience about today is the need for AI and technology, not for just the big stores, but maybe the small independent store. And I'm talking about 1, 2, or 3 stores. And you're a grocer yourself. You own 2 stores as well. So tell me about that. Tell me about that journey, and why is it important for today, someone who owns 2, 3, or maybe even 1 store to have technology in their everyday life?
Well, you want to take off that burden from needing that much staff.
Yeah.
And you want to be able to compete in today's unique markets.
Yes.
Right? Lots of grocery shopping has been transferred to online, the digital realm, right? It's become a lot more convenient, especially since Amazon joined.
Yeah. So who's Amazon? Exactly.
So because of that, us mom and pops, as we are still considered mom and pops, corner grocery drugstores, we're a staple of the community. Consumers still need us, and just relying on the fresh product line isn't going to make ends meet.
Right.
And so to be competitive, to have the right products at the right time, in an ever-changing consumer buying habit, you need the data. And we can't afford the team of analysts sitting in the back to come back with those numbers and say, hey, this is how many you need of what. We're gone. We're bankrupt. We're done. Right. So AI gives us that unique ability with implementing relatively cheap machine learning to give the local mom and pop grocer the same metrics, the same data the big boys have. That these products are moving, reduce this from your inventory, start adding this product line instead. And therefore, you're still serving your community and you still get to survive in today's everly more competing market.
Yeah, because we're fighting for, 1%, 2%, 3% small margins. Now, if I own 1 or 2 stores, I'm thinking to myself, okay, this sounds wonderful, but I can't afford that. I'm not the big guy. I don't have $1 million to invest in any system. So tell me about that. What does it look like if you're really going to make an investment? What does that look like in terms of the spend threshold, and what's the return on that type of investment?
Question I get asked every day.
Yeah.
All right. It costs less than a part-time employee.
A part-time employee.
part-time employee. And better yet, since I replace your entire tech stack, if you have it,
Right.
I automatically reduce your overhead over there as well.
Right.
Unlike some who say, oh, you only need 2 or 3 full-time employees to run the application, you need no additional employees to run this. We'll probably reduce your staffing requirements as well. Why? Because everything is interconnected, and we take out that middleman for the import, export, or Excels or CSVs. We take all that out.
Right.
Every action has a following adjoining action that's mostly automated.
And I think that's key because, all right, so I could imagine owning a grocery store, and I cut my teeth in bodegas and grocery stores, you know, when I was 14, 15, like everybody else in New York. It's a 7-day-a-week business. So you're there 12, 14 hours a day. So the fact that you have technology, not only to ease your finance burden, but maybe even your personal burden too, right?
No, that's a fantastic point. Now, the original version of this that I implemented and deployed at my grocery store, my first one, was in 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
I retired by 2017.
Really?
I didn't have to go to work. And I'm the guy who would go to the produce market at 2 a.m., be back at the store at 6 a.m., unloading it, putting it in the refrigerator. I was running because the minute you step out, you lose control.
Yeah.
But with an application like this, you don't, because it's overseeing. Not a dollar can be spent in your store that doesn't go through this application. Not a dollar enters your store that doesn't go through our application. From the point of sale down to your vendor checks, all in one application. We hired a GM, put him in charge, and he follows the rules.
So basically, you're capturing everything, and I'm assuming you could manage this from a device, right? Your handheld?
Yeah. You want to see my product? It's right on your mobile phone. Everything, all the alerts are there. We have apps. We have a bunch of cute apps. But as an owner on my watch, it actually shows what my store is doing today in sales and profits. Everything is intertwined, intertangled, interdependent.
Right.
Right.
Of
So you can't just go to QuickBooks and write a check for $5,000.
Right.
I need to know what you bought, who you bought it from, when it was received, all the nuances before that check's printed.
Right.
With that, we have accountability. And that's how we get our little slogan. Accountable is profitable. We hold everyone accountable, and everything is timestamped, logged, so you know the journey. You know what's happening in your business, sitting at home, watching TV.
All right, so let's take this to another level then. So we discussed how it's good for that grocery owner. How does this help that customer for that grocery store? How is this system going to help them? How does it transfer into making your customers happier and more satisfied?
One of the key things I keep saying is the point of Unicite, the entire application suite, is to help the grocer answer what the big boys have already answered. What are the 5 key things? What to buy, when to buy it, how much of it to buy, where to put it, and what to price it.
Right.
And all that helps your customer.
Yeah.
I tell this to all my vendors. I tell this to all my investors. The point of Unicite is not for me to sell what my vendors want me to sell at my store. It's not what my accountant wants me to sell at my store.
It's what your customers want to buy,
It's
right?
what my customers want to buy. So with this, we're constantly doing metrics. In my grocery store, we have 88 departments. Imagine doing analytics on 88 departments.
That's quite a
Just
bit.
the honey department, right? Just the honey category. Reducing that from 60, 70 SKUs down to 20, 30 SKUs, the ones your customers want, frees up more shelves for you to bring in more unique product lines.
Right.
And to give those a shot in your marketing, your demographics, to find, oh, these are the products my customers want. These are the products my customers want. And then out of stock.
Right.
That's another big problem. Is I bought a case last week. I sold a case. I'll buy another case.
Right.
This highlights that during the smart reorder system, you need 2 cases.
Right.
Looking at the sales, looking at how often you bring this product in, this is how much you should.
And you know, when we compare this independent grocer, the small grocery, the bodega, the 1 or 2 store owners versus the big guys on the block, and they have these systems, that's very valuable to them. Replenishment and cost of replenishment. And that inventory turn is really important. So if I have 80 honeys, I'll use their example, on the shelf, and only 30 sell. All right, let's skew rat. Let's get rid of those 50. Let's save that money and move it into popcorn, move it into sponges, and then get a higher profit margin. So this is going to help with all that. So it's going to take the thinking. It's going to use the intelligence to help me think and make me more efficient.
Now think about the current mom and pop grocers tech stack,
Right.
and tell me how they get that information.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
got to be impossible.
because the difficulty here is if you just pull the point of sale report and it says, look, you sold 3. Okay, great. But did I have more than 3? When did I get those 3?
Yeah. And that 3 could have been, it shouldn't be, but that could have been on the shelf for 2 years. You don't know that. So, all right. So then the consumer is seeing that benefit as well. So now not only are you helping yourself, financially because you have the system and your velocity rates are being viewed and measured and all that. The customer is getting satisfied because now they're getting better turns, fresher product, better examples of different products and all that. Okay, so now tell me more about the system. Tell me about Unicite exactly. What is this product and why do I need it if I'm a grocer?
To survive in today's ever-changing world, and I'm not going to try to throw out buzzwords over here,
Right.
but to be competitive in today's, with the options customers have today, with Goliath such as Amazon entering this, you need to be able to stay alive and compete without spending an obscene amount of money to do so.
Right.
You can't hire a team of 8 to do analytics.
Right. I was looking at you had these stats on the board here.
Oh, this is my grocery store live metrics.
Is that right? So you're actually looking at the metrics of what's happening in real time.
Yeah, this is registered to. This is Christine, and this is when she signed in. If you want to look at, let's say the last transactions, let's look at a last transaction. Here's a customer she serviced 3 minutes ago. Customer bought 18 products.
That's pretty amazing.
Right? You know how much was paid in SNAP benefits, how much was paid with credit card if it's a split tender.
So it's breaking that all down.
All of it, discounts and all that.
So what's the hurdle here? So if you said replacing the tech stack, to me, and I came from a regional grocer, that's a pretty big list.
They don't have the tech. That's the small grocers I'm talking about don't have this tech.
Right.
They have a point of sale. They think they have tech.
Right.
Our point of sale is just only a small margin of our operations. At the point of sale, we capture if they sell anything weight. This is live happening at my store right now.
That's amazing.
You get to see, and this way you can validate and look at cashier accuracy reports. This is eggplants, but clearly the plastic stops the eggplants from being seen. But this is a quick way to audit and understand the cashiers are the entering produce codes. So this is just one small part of it. This is what they have. They have a point of sale. They think they have technology.
Right.
It doesn't start or end there. If you're not measuring what's coming into your store, you cannot measure what's going out of your store, and therefore you can't understand where your true profits are.
And I think the big thing that we're doing is personalization and trying to get closer to our customers. So without a personalization engine, this is getting us closer to the customer because now the basket is becoming more enriched and more in tune to what the customers
100%.
are buying.
The basket size is one of the most important metrics we always monitor.
Right.
Is because you've done the hard part. You've got the customer in the store.
Right.
They're already there. Now your goal is to sell them as many products. Your rent doesn't change. Your payroll doesn't change. Your electricity bill doesn't change. They just one more product. And that's why we got this shredded money in jars over here in front of us.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars here.
Is accountable, is profitable. And because we keep saying you're leaving money on the table, you're losing a lot of money.
Yeah.
We protect your margins by always having the cost accurate. So when I look at my gross sales of 14,000, I look at my gross profit of 5. This is live. This is real, actual numbers, and you can sleep better at night knowing exactly your margins are protected. Every single category you set up how much you want in margins, everything. This is all. I'm not sure this shows up on camera, but you'll see all the live metrics over here. We protect your margins, so you're protecting your profits. Small mom and pops, when they receive invoices, how often are they checking those invoices against their previous invoices to see if it cost?
Probably never. Probably in January when they have to put a tax return in, right?
So the idea over here is anytime you receive a product,
you're tracking.
Everything is tracked. The cost
pretty amazing.
Measured. You know the entire history of your entire price changes. You know who did it, when they did it, when was that price created. Everything is through one application. If you use ESL tags, we cover all the bases.
So I've seen systems for regional grocers, of course, now, but this is really drilled down to more of a localized model, which I think is amazing.
That's where I'm at. I'm the underserved community. That's what made me make this application.
So why isn't the underserved community doing this today? And how do we get them to start doing this?
So they got to first hear about us. Hi.
Yeah, right. That's right.
They've just been so disheartened with the crazy tech stacks that are there.
Right. It's intimidating.
It's very.
I mean, most grocers are not, they're not technologically savvy, right?
2 clicks. I keep telling you, it's 2 clicks. 2 clicks.
That's great.
If you want to add an item, you click add item. If we were to scan it over here, it looks through our entire universe, 2 million product universal database. It says, I know this product. Is this what you're adding? Yes.
It makes it
How
easy.
much did you pay for it? This much. What department is going? Is this department? You set this department at this many margins. I think you want the price this? Yes. Done.
Right. So not only, I mean, we talked about the inventory piece. We talked about the finance piece. We even talked about the ease of paying to a grocer, because now it's making your life a little bit more comfortable, right? We talked about the greatness that is helping the community because it's getting better product
and saving the local
for the
grocer,
and saving the local grocer too, which I think is valuable, because without look, I just came back from New York, and I told you I cut my teeth on the bodegas all throughout Queens and Brooklyn and New York. And there's a grocer that's been there since I was a kid. And I'm thinking to myself, they only have maybe 200, 300, maybe 500 customers that really depend on that grocer. Otherwise, they have to get in the car or on a bus or on a train to go somewhere else. And this is going to help them.
It's going to help them tremendously. Look, we don't do self-checkout.
Yeah.
We don't do things that reduce that customer interaction. We as grocers, we are the neighborhood. Yeah. We're the heart. We're the community. When they come in, they have to talk to our butchers. They have to talk to our cashiers.
Yes.
All my customers know my cashiers. All my cashiers know my customers. They come in, they look at our butcher and say, hey, Bob, you got that T-bone? They know each other. I'm not eliminating that. We want to save that, preserve that by letting them compete in today's world. So let Amazon take all of your Oreo cookie sales, but the fresh tomatoes, that stays in-house. That stays where people can smell that peach. That's what's important.
And then that's important because that fresh sale is going to help you grow your basket, because they're buying tomatoes, they're buying the steak, they're buying whatever it is. Now they're also buying the beans, they're buying the bread, they're buying the milk, the perishables, and now they're buying the staples. And now your average basket order is going from $38 to $45. And if you do that for 500 customers a week, it adds up.
Because again, all the rest of the bills have been paid already.
Yeah,
right? That's the goal.
Well, this is a great system. I hope to see you out there real soon. I really appreciate you spending the time with us.
Stores will be in 12 by the end of this year.
That'll be great. All right, thank you so much. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Likewise.
I'm gonna take this money and no, I can't do that. We don't take any money on the show, by the way. We do this all to get the
credit U.S. currency.
Can't use it at all. Well, thank you very much. I'm Professor Ken. I'll see you out there.